Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, Thailand, and good evening here in California. And yes, the new station for music, entertainment, and just a lot of fun. Hello, everybody. I'm Robbie from Walking My Shoes, Thailand, and also thespot.fm. And I'm here with Ryan from
Still waking up in the morning.
the Big Reel, buddy, the Big Reel. It used to be Eat Out Patio, or excuse me, eating out patio. Wait,
It is
how's it
eat
go?
out at eat out Pattaya. Um, and if you want me to address that, we'll get into it because I think a lot of people are getting confused on that.
They're getting confused on Eat Out Patio.
Well, they think that I started a new channel with the Big Reel. It's actually still Eat Out Pattaya. It's just I renamed it and rebranded it, and there's a big reason behind it. I
Ah,
I I,
okay.
sw- I swear that we were getting throttled by YouTube because of the word patio. I swear we were getting throttled by it,
Got you.
and proof's kind of in the pudding a little bit. Changed the name up, changed the design. Next thing you know, we went from 200, 300 subscribers, and in 2 weeks we're up over 1,000. So
Wow.
it's like, you know,
Because you were posting. I mean, you're posting almost 3 times a week, right? Or 2 times a week?
2 to 3 times a week, depending on how many different restaurants or new restaurants that we went to, and we're primarily a food channel, and I noticed that with the food channel, one, we kinda pigeonholed ourselves into a very, very small niche, which was,
Yeah.
restaurants in and around Pattaya, and I was like, "Man, what happens if I wanna do more stuff, like, get out there and live stream from a bicycle, or we wanna do the Sunday live show, which we're doing. Mitch and I are doing every Sunday at 8 o'clock BKK time. It's like, how do you really justify that with the name? So we switched it up a little bit. You
Yeah,
know,
totally. Yeah.
rebrand. You know all about rebranding
Yeah,
and, and
totally.
marketing and stuff. I don't have to explain it to you. You're the expert in the house
Yeah.
on that stuff. So
So the new channel, exactly. Tell us what's called. Maybe we can put it in the comments bar too.
yeah, it's called the Big Reel. It's same channel as Eat Out Pattaya before. So if you were subscribed before, you should still be subscribed now, unless you saw it one day and said, "Oh, I don't know what this is. I'm getting rid of this fool,"
Yeah.
or you just
And you're still
decided not
doing
to like me
food.
anymore.
You
We
are still.
will. If you look at some of the videos, like I think one of the last food videos I did was midnight desserts on Pattaya Thai, and I even started it off, I had the little intro for the big reel, and then right behind it was the old intro for Eat Out Pattaya. And it kind of is one of those things of, so now you know what's coming, that we're
Yeah.
getting ready to do a food review. And at the same time, I'll do something, and if it's more of an adventure type of a show or video, you'll see Ryan's Adventures coming in, and um, you
Ryan's
know, I
Adventures. I love it.
you, we did a kind of a video not too long ago where we took a motorcycle trip. A few of us went down there to Satahip and Bang Chang and everything, and we stopped at Bikers Cafe. So I had this nice beach, and we did everything, and then all of a sudden, it was boom. Eat Out Patty is here, and I even put up the little graphic for Eat Out Patty, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I almost did the same format that I would normally do for the restaurants. I was like, boom, we're in Bikers Cafe. Here's a little review for you.
I actually think your reviews are pretty good. So I actually did watch that one because I thought it was comical when you're doing this bike, not tour, but this biking
Mhm.
thing, and they're all scooters. I thought that was hilarious. Just so you know that. I did
Yeah,
watch that
yeah.
video. I don't know if I put a comment or not on there, but
Well, it was the big, that's why I had it, the wild hogs and everything. It's like, here we are, we got guys on Aerox 150s, and, thank God for Gary that it's at least on a 500. It's kind of given us some credibility there. And, I'm reverting back. I still have my bandana covering up my face and stuff just for the
yeah.
smog that's been happening lately and all the road stuff. I don't like going down the road breathing and all that dust and crap
Oh
that you get
yeah.
on some of the back roads. So, um, but I
So
swear I was joking around. I said, "Man, I need to get me a leather vest and like put something on there." And here we go.
scooter hogs instead of
Scooter
was it
hogs.
the hogs? You can put
Yeah,
scooter hogs. I don't know.
something,
Yeah.
anything. But
So, hey, welcome everybody here. Definitely leave a comment in the bar. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're on Walking in My Shoes or Live My Ass Off, be sure to go ahead and check out The Big Reel. Also, check out thespot.fm YouTube channel. And hopefully, it's everything is coming across okay, sound wise, visual wise. As you guys notice, Mike, our IT or professional radio guy, isn't with us right now. He's taken a few weeks off to be with family here in the States. And so, in the meantime, I will still be doing the show with guests like Ryan and several other guests. And then also, there's a little QR code kind of up here. You guys can scan that code, listen to it right off the spot. That would be awesome. And we can check out who's actually on the QR code. And let's see who's in the house. And then you guys be sure to ask questions. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ryan as he's going to talk about himself also. But we got Joe in the house. So that's cool. We got Joe. Going Grays. Who's Going Grays?
Oh, it's one of the regulars.
He's one of the regulars, man. You guys, I
Yeah.
apologize. Robin's in the house. I mean, we got Mark. We got, several people here. I really appreciate it. This is cool. Give a thumbs up also, so don't forget to do that. Christy. Hey, Robbie, Mike, The Spot, Kitty, everyone. Thanks, Christy. Be sure to say hey to Ryan. And $5 to Ryan right there.
Holy crap! Who gave the $5 to
Nobody
Ryan?
yet. I'm just,
Oh.
it's kind of our plead with Christy. We do it to her all the time. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but I've said, like I'm an aspiring e-bagger, so, and I've never got anything. So if someone sends you $5, damn it, you're buying the next something. I don't care when you
I'll
get
buy
here
the
April
smoothie.
1st.
I'll,
Smoothie
I'll
my
buy the
rear
smoothie.
end.
I probably owe you a couple of smoothies, and we're going to talk about why I say that here in a minute here. But Ryan, so you've been in Thailand. I mean, let's talk about this, and then we'll get to questions. So you guys be sure to ask your questions. We will get to them. But Ryan, you've been in Thailand now for how long have you been there? And then are you somebody like myself? I go back and forth often. So I come back at the end of this week. Yay, Thailand. I'll be back with all you guys, all you numbskulls. It'll be kind of fun. So tell us about what you do.
Well, like everybody, I started off as a holiday guy and took an early retirement for work. Came out here November 2021 when we are still doing test and go because I was not going to do 2 weeks in quarantine, and been here ever since. Literally almost a year and a half now. As for going back and forth, that is a long, long, long flight.
It is a long flight, man. I fly into Hong Kong. It's 16 hours.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Holy
I've
cow. By
I've
the way,
gone
there's
from
$5 from Christy right there. So there's our
oh,
smoothie.
if
That's a
I
smoothie for you, Ryan. She's even put it in there. There you go, Ryan. Have a smoothie on Christy. So we'll definitely do
Christy
that.
Christy popped the cherry.
Oh, shoot. We got $10 coming in. Here
Oh,
we go.
Lord.
So we got a couple of smoothies headed my way. Pounding sand. Roger in the
Hey, yeah,
house.
that's $15. That's a bar fine in most places. We're up to
And
a bar fine now.
some of these guys, I'm not sure what a bar fine is, but those who come on holiday, you'll probably experience that. That's for sure. Because I think
Yeah.
everybody's got to go through that. I mean, or is that something?
Well, it depends. There's, the guys that live here that have been here for a while. I'm one of the guys that's been coming on the motorcycle trip with us. He's been here for 16 years, off and on. Like you, he
Wow.
was a once a week. When you come in, you'll probably meet up with him. Real interesting guy, real nice guy, real laid back. And, the place where he owns an apartment out here. And, I went over there to help him with some computer and digital stuff. And we were talking, and he was showing, he goes,
Hmm.
man, when I came out here 16 years ago, they didn't even have second road. And I was like, what? I was like, second road's that new? He's like,
Second road
yeah,
Pattaya?
yes. Like outside of
Wow.
Jomtien. You know how it makes that long stretch to go back to the circumvent, kind
Yeah.
of around
Yeah.
where the red light past Foodland, past Threpisit. You
Yeah.
got
That
that
to me,
red
that's
light,
the
and then it
main
goes
road is Second Road,
correct.
honestly.
He said 16 years ago when he had bought his apartment out there, second road did not exist. And I was like,
Wow.
oh, wow. And that's the same thing. I went, oh, wow. He goes, man, I used to sit out on my balcony and hear the birds and the crickets. He says, now I hear racing motorcycles every night. And I was like, how did you even access to your apartment? He goes, from Beach Road. I was like, no shit. I was like, why? And so and I've heard that from people like jumped in. and Pratamac and those areas have exploded in the last 10 to 15 years. But until you actually talk to somebody that's actually lived it, you can't fathom it. So that just goes to show you how much Pattaya is really still growing. I mean, you can still see it here. They're getting further and further out. I mean, more and more. Just in the Pratamac area, talking to
Yeah.
people with land, they said you can't recoup the money. If you were to try to buy a piece of land here, build a house on it, and flip it, you would lose money. You'd have to put an apartment complex of some size just to recoup your money off of the land and what you've invested in. And that's how much land is going up because of the demand for it. So,
So right now,
yeah.
I mean, the land has gone up so much here in Pattaya.
Oh yeah, easily, easily. I see the for sale signs around, just like I said, around, and this is just in Pratamac. This is outside of what people would get. You got to realize a lot of us, a lot of people, and will come on holiday, and when
Hmm.
they come into Pattaya, they think Pattaya is from the Dolphin Roundabout to Bali High Pier, and that's where it ends. After that, you go up over the hill into Pratamac, everything ends and the world drops off. And same
Yeah.
thing beyond the Dolphin Roundabout up into Wagamot area and Naklua. They've heard of the fish market and they might even braved a trip out there from time to time, but it's they don't explore, they don't ride motorcycles, they don't get on the bot buses and go out farther than their own little community in their circle. So it's weird to hear people that have been coming here for years that know nothing about, like I said, outside that little circle. And then you talk to people
Hmm.
like this other guy, and he's going, I've been here 16 years. I've been coming out here and
Hearing
and it
crickets.
hearing crickets and birds, and it's like, wow. So that's why nobody ever went out there, and
Yeah.
that was also part of the reason of starting the Eat Out Pattaya channel in the first place. Was you have so many people that have been coming here for such a long time, and we all get in our little habits, basically. Like even me nowadays, it's like I go to the same breakfast
Yeah.
places and do this
Definitely.
because it's routine and it's habit and it's setting up a life. Um, and
Yeah.
Mitch sparked that creativity because of one restaurant that we went to, and he's like, "Man, I've been coming here since 2001, and I've passed this place a million times and never thought to step in it." And I'm going, "Man, we got to get this on film then." So that was the origin with that, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. But
Man, aren't
yeah,
we
this
a
place is.
creature of habits, like you said? I mean, because I know when I first started coming around, I mean, as a regular in Jomtien, that's where
Hmm.
I met you at the Wombat.
Right.
And our first conversation is, "What do you eat?" And then you said, "I have the same sandwich every time." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I eat every,
Yeah.
what is it, the Berkey?"
The brekkie and a bun, and let me think, what day was it? I was
Yeah,
was it yesterday? Yeah, I was down there yesterday because I still stop into the Wombat and say hello
yeah.
and, go down there,
And they know
uh
your name for the most part. I mean,
Yep, 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 yeah, some of the ladies do change, but, Steve's normally there unless he's playing golf, or right now he's recovering from a,
mm,
surgery. So, it's, it's one of those home type places.
yeah, it
And
is.
and I tell you what, do you remember the number for brekkie and a bun?
Actually, they changed their menu. Well, so what
Yes,
is
they
it?
did. It's a number 6 now. It was a number 5. So it used to be
Oh.
ha, now it's C. No, C's
Oh,
4.
there you go.
Yeah.
No, it was,
So
so what's 6?
it's
6 would be
Hoke,
no, Hulk. Hulk.
Hoke, Jed, Bad, Gal.
That's right. There you go. And by the way,
I,
you guys, Ryan does speak a little Thailand. Don't let him fool you. This guy takes lessons. Come on.
Mitch, actually, Mr. Mitch came with me to class last week. And Mitch had told me years ago he had taken Thai lessons, and we were sitting there, and I didn't realize it,
Yeah.
but the teacher has pretty much switched over and is
Is it the
speaking.
same? Same
The
teacher?
same, yeah, same teacher, and
Okay.
for about over a year now, and she's speaking damn near all Thai to me. But I'm so used to what she's saying, and I'm picking out the
Yeah.
words, And so I know her tones. I know everything, not everything that she's saying, but I'm listening to her, and everybody's going, "Oh, so you understand Thai now?" And I'm going, "No, no, because
Yeah,
if
good
I
luck,
run
right?
into, yeah, it's like,
But
no, no, I really don't understand
but you
it.
do understand it more than you can speak it. I mean, because that's
I
been my
understand it.
case.
Yes, I understand it more than can speak it. And she even told Mitch, she's like, if Ryan actually did his homework,
Ugh,
he would be
you're that guy.
speaking, he would be speaking Thai by now, and he would, be on his way to being very fluent and proficient. But as I responded, Kikiat, and I'm lazy. Um, but it's funny. I I don't
Kiki,
realize
yeah.
it. Yeah, Kikiat. And we got Jam here, so she could definitely correct us when we go off track
Yeah,
with
and
the
Kitty's
tie.
there. I would
And
tell
Kitty's there
Kitty,
too.
I would say,
Yeah.
"Kitty, Kiki at Muk Muk," and she would
Yeah.
just laugh at me
Uh-huh.
because she's not
Um,
lazy, but I would just tease her, a
and
little banter. Never hurts anybody, come on.
right, and of course, like anything else, I've learned a lot of the cuss words before I learned, simple stuff, and um, depends on the situation. I'm better at, like, because of the way the lessons were broke down. With where I was going, we learned Thai based on situational stuff,
Mm, that
and
conversation tie?
well, not so much conversation type, but yeah, conversation type, but like restaurant settings. Like it was like one
Okay.
whole. I'm looking at it all because it's like it was tell you, you learning what a plate is, how to ask for something like, I'll nampao, I want water, stuff like that. And it's like we got to the food section, and like I picked that up right away. It was like I'm on top of that one. So if I go into a restaurant, I went into a one of those Thai buffets where you sit there, and I'm the only Falong sitting at the table. So of
Oh,
course,
wow.
the the people at the restaurant are talking to all the ladies, asking stuff like that. And my Coke Zero was low, so he had asked them if I wanted more Coke, and I turned
Mhm.
straight to him and said, "Al cup," which is, would like more, and the biggest shock look on his face, and I wanted to be like, "Listen, buddy, we're in a restaurant. I understand what you're saying in a
Yeah.
restaurant. If someone's speaking Thai and they're asking if I want more food or more drink, I know what the hell you just said."
So let me ask you, because I mean, there's going to be some holiday guys here, and just a tip for them. What's a couple words or phrases that they should learn? I mean, let's say it's a first time trip or even a second time trip. So real quick here, I got my buddy Brian, and he might be listening. I don't know. Well, if it's not on the spot, Joe just told me it's not on the spot here. Thanks for the
Mhm.
info. But I got my friend Brian who's supposed to be coming. He's coming in 2 days, 3 days. So he'll be there and in Bangkok. So what's something that we can kind of give him? Like a couple words we can teach him.
I've always said, that, looking into it, of course, the simple ones like, Sawadee Krap, Kapum Cup, thank you. Um, and then, of course, Lady Boy Mai, Mai's a good one, My Al.
My
Um,
Al, yes. I think
I don't
that's
want,
I do not
um,
want this. Yes.
yeah,
I
My
love
Al.
that. And when
What
Kitty taught me that, that was huge.
I thought I taught you that one because of all the hawkers sitting there coming up
You
to you in the
know what?
restaurants.
Actually, I might have to correct myself. I think it was you, because once I started saying my Al, they just walk away. They figure I
Yes.
know Thai, and
Yes.
so I
Uh-huh.
do think it was you. So correction on that. But Kitty teaches me a lot, but I think it
Well,
was you, because when I started saying it, no one
because
bothers me anymore,
it,
at all.
w when you're sitting at a restaurant or a bar on Beach Road, of course, you're gonna have the guys coming around selling you stuff, and I tell you, here's another, don't chase them away right away, because sometimes they might have something that you're like, "Well, wait a second, let me look at that," you know?
Yeah, I got my
Um,
bracelet still.
yeah, yeah, but I would watch, it was, everybody would say, something to the fact of, "Oh, no, 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 thank you," and they'd still sit there, everything like that, and they'd
Yeah.
come up to me, and I'd just turn to them, go, "Mile cup," and they would walk away, and I'd just start cracking up laughing. It's like,
Yeah. That's
it's like
simple.
I tell everybody, I said, "My," and that's probably the one that I would, once you get beyond just the simples of, hello, thank you,
See, that's a
and
good
all
one,
that.
because people aren't usually taught say Mayao. They're taught Kampoon Cup and
Right.
Sawadee Cup, all the basics. I mean, that's a good pro tip, is like, hey, if you guys learn Mayao, which means I do not want or no thank
Uh,
you or whatever.
but you have to break it down for them a little bit. Like everybody thinks that my means no when you're using it for my owl, because my with the different tones can be several different
Yes.
things,
Yes, I've
including,
heard that.
toast. There's like, so, but my is actually a negative form. It's not no, it's negative. It's so owl is want, like you want something like owl
Mhm.
beer,
Yeah.
it's, so you're putting that in there. So my owl is the negative form. It's just saying the negative of
Yeah.
what it is that it's there. So it's not an actual literal translation of no, I do not
Mhm.
want, because there is not no in the Thai language. They have yes, which is chai, and I I
Well, I know
aggravate my teacher because let's say if I ask you if you want something, like if I say, you know, I'll now my, which is, do you want water? Basically, you wouldn't respond by saying chai. That's how we do it in
yeah.
English. Like if I said, "Hey, Robbie, you want some water?" and you'd look at me and go, "Yes, please." You don't do yes, which would kind of be like chai. You would respond with "I'll cup," which is the polite way of saying, would like. So it's
Mm,
differences
okay.
like that.
Well, I know Kitty would say to me, "Miss me my" or "Chai
Mhm,
mai," and I'm like,
correct.
"Chai mai?
Right.
Why are you saying what's chai mai mean? Yes, no? Is it no or is it yes?" So
Yeah.
I know I got confused on that a little bit, but I know she's meaning everything well for sure.
Right.
So real
Right.
quick here, we got a question. Hey guys, is it really pretty easy to find rent in
Hey,
a nice
Robert.
place this time of year from a private owner? So this time of year, can we? And this is from Roger. So how hard
Mhm.
is it to find a place this time of year, and is the process difficult? Do you have any feedback on that?
It's getting a little bit better. I know people that are looking for apartments. The apartments have definitely gone up, and they haven't gone down to the pandemic prices by no stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, and they're not going to. I can't think they're going to.
No, it's not going to happen. Um, but at the same time, they weren't like they were in November, December during high season because, okay, let's take like Laguna Beach, for example. Pre-pandemic, I was seeing them as low as 5 and 6,000. They're 35 square
What's
meter,
Laguna
either.
Beach? Is that Dark Side Pattaya?
No, no, no. Lagunas should be right there off a second road, kind of in between Pratamac and Jomtien, in that little stretch of Thrapaya right
Okay.
there. So before, during the pandemic, when everybody was coming back, testing go before it really was opened up, they were advertising 6,000 baht a month for a 35 square meter flat or one bedroom. This past high season, I was seeing them as high as 15,000 baht
Wow.
a month, and I was going, "Oh, no. No, no,
Yeah, I know the
no."
Riviera has gone up to the same place I had is
30.
now 30,000 baht, and it was a
Right,
one
right,
bedroom, 38 meters, square meters,
right.
which is super small. What was that 600
Mhm,
square foot or something? I don't even know if it's that big.
mhm.
I think it's smaller, but it was 30,000 baht. I'm like, it's still cheaper or less expensive than it is here. It's 900 bucks USD.
Right, I get that part, but at the same time, and I think that's what a lot of people it happens is and I'm not gonna say Roger, but people like Roger that might be used to either California or something like that, and they come over
Dude,
here and
that's
they're
me.
like, "Oh, man,
Yeah,
um,
that's me.
yeah, oh, man, look how cheap all this place is," and the rest
Yeah.
of us are going, "Hey, buddy, don't do that, don't do that, wait a second, look around."
Totally. Look at
So,
this, Joe. Another 10 bucks. Thank you,
oh,
Joe. I
Lord.
appreciate it. Thank you for the studio, which you guys, next week, I will be in Bangkok in the studio doing this show most likely. And not 100% sure if I'm going to be at the studio or maybe I'll be in at the YouTuber meetup. Haven't decided yet. But yeah, thank you so much, Joe. I definitely appreciate it. Smoothie coming your way for sure. Several.
Yeah,
Jim Miller, good
yeah,
morning to you. And there's
that's
Jam.
Jam. Well, that's the
Yeah.
same one.
That's the same people?
Jim. Yeah, it's Jam Life in Thailand is,
Nice.
Jim and, Meow.
There it
Jim and
is.
Meow
Jam
Life
Life
in
in
Thailand.
Thailand. I'm gonna check that
Yeah.
out. I probably have a sub to it.
You
I'm
know
not sure.
Jam. You know Jim
I
and
would know.
Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Joe, you're awesome. Yeah, Joe is pretty awesome. Cool dude. Here he is leaving us notes. Hope all is good with Mike. So Mike isn't on right now, you guys. Mike will be off air for a few more weeks. He's with his family here in the States, taking care of some business. I don't know all the details yet, but he will be back. And speaking of business, let's go ahead and take care of a couple quick little housekeeping things. By the way, if you're watching on Walking in My Shoes or you're watching on what do you call it? Mike's channel, all that cool stuff. Tune into the spot.fm. Definitely check us out there. We would love to have you guys click the subscribe, click the like. It does help. The comments are helping. But be sure to go to the spot.fm. Again, if you're on Live My Ass Off, that's where Mike's at. If you're on Walking My Shoes. And then lastly, you guys, go ahead and check out the Big Reel. The Big Reel with Ryan there. Pretty awesome dude. It used to be Eat Out Pattaya, which is, I love the name Eat Out Pattaya. He had a great explanation earlier. But you guys, I just wanted to point that out. How can you support the channel? We have our shirts right here, if you guys can see it. And we have our superstar model right here, our supermodel, Robert Mack modeling it.
He is tall like a supermodel.
He is tall, man.
And I
And I
think that's
hand
where it
delivered
ends.
that shirt. And I said, "Do you want me to sign it?" No. Anyways, and then here we go. We got Aunt B right here. And so, yeah, we got some people trying it on, sending us the pictures, and that's cool. I will have a fresh new batch when I'm there in Pattaya. But if you're here in the States, you want to order it, we will ship it to you. It takes a little longer just because we actually were running out of shirts. We only have a few left here in the States. But there you go. You guys want to support us, go ahead and go on through the website, thespot.fm, click the shirt, support us. That's cool. The money goes towards the studio, in which we do pay rent on and all that kind of stuff. So,
And
anyways,
I can't believe you lied to the people and told them Mike's dealing with family stuff. You know what really happened? I wanted to be on the show, so I kicked his butt, and so he's out of commission for a few weeks. So here I am. You know.
there he is. Oh, you mean Mike's right here?
Yeah. Okay, the
So
lady boy kicked his butt. I paid the
the
lady
lady
boy to
boy
kick his
might
butt.
have kicked his butt. I don't know. But you guys, thank you. Put your questions in the box for sure. We have Ryan on, and we're just learning more about what he's up to. We had our couple of tips. We had again, what kind of words you should learn. I mean, my owl cup, I think, is awesome. And so Ryan, we talked a little bit earlier, and you mentioned you're coming back here to the States for a little bit. So can you kind of how are you getting here? How long are you staying? And is Thailand your home, or is it the States? What is your home?
No. I'm not like you. I have no desire to live in the U.S. of A. currently. But when Mama, I'm a Southern boy. Y'all can hear that. When Mama comes a calling and
That's
says,
right.
it's been over a year. My baby needs to come home. I said, yes, ma'am. I'll get on a flight and I'll come home. So, and just by chance, it's going to be a big birthday for my dad while I'll be in town, and I know what that means. So
Cool.
she wants me to be there for the party, and not so much just to be there, but to also cook for the party, because we'll probably boil crawfish or boil crabs and shrimp and stuff like that, and do it the
Do you
good old
miss doing
Southern.
that?
Oh,
Do
hell
you?
yeah. I said that. Luckily for me, I got the Cajun restaurant right around the corner, and he's got, a touch. He doesn't have all the food from home. It's practically impossible for him to do that. But, he's got fried oysters and fried
Who is
shrimp.
that? What restaurant is that? Give a
Uh,
shout out.
the Cajun restaurant,
Oh,
right there on Soy 5. Mr. Jeff Semino, he owns it, and he's a proper
okay.
Cajun.
I
He's
will
even got
check it out.
The Cajun. I know Robert was in there quite a bit. Robert was when he was on holiday or on vacation here. I think he was spending more time in the restaurant than I normally do. So,
It's got some good
um,
gumbo.
yeah, actually got a very solid gumbo. For
Nice.
being in Thai. Listen, a restaurant making a gumbo is hard to do to begin with,
If
because
it's
you
done
can't
right, it's got to be
you
done
can't
right.
well, it's got to be done right. You can't, and it's like anything, you can't really season it. You can't really season it, to everybody's taste.
Yeah, you
It's
can't.
impossible. It's like boiling crawfish in a restaurant. Someone's going to say it's not spicy enough. Someone's going to say
It's
it's
too
too
chewy.
spicy. Yeah, it's this, it's that. So with a gumbo, it's pretty much the same thing. It's not this. It's not how I do it at home. It blah 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 blah. But the thing Jeff's got going for him is a lot of people don't know what real gumbo is.
Mm.
So when he's
Does
making
he
it, people are eating it, like, from England and people from all over the world are trying. They're going, man, this shit is good. And I'm going, well, yeah, it's gumbo.
is he using,
And
regular potatoes, or what's he using for his,
they
starch?
ain't, they ain't no gumbo on potatoes. I
Really?
mean,
Come
they ain't no
on.
potatoes. That you think of etouffee. No,
Yeah,
he's using it rice, and of course they're doing it the Thai way. Um, you
no
get the
potatoes. I mean, I
nope.
thought I had gumbo. I thought gumbo was part of it was the potatoes.
No, that's you'll see potatoes. Well, you'll maybe in some people's normally a good base for the gumbo is okra, but he doesn't put okra in
Mm,
his.
mm.
When you do okra in your gumbo, you got to know what you're doing so it doesn't come out slimy. Um,
But it's called the Cajun right there on
yeah,
Soy
the
5.
the Cajun Life Cafe.
So here's a question for you from Patrick. Thanks, Patrick. What's the cost of Thai language school? So what's it cost?
For 20 hours, I pay 6,000 baht for 20 hours,
Okay.
and I know it's cheaper if I was to do more.
20
Um,
hours. So how long? I mean, is that 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? Or
20
is it
hours
just
is literally, I go for an hour at a time, so each time I go 1 hour down.
mm,
So you gotta think of what is that, 300 baht for the,
for the lesson?
yeah, 300 baht for the lesson, and if you compare it to prices back home, all the students said the same thing to crew May or P May, and we said, "May, your prices are too low. You need to
Yeah,
go
I
up
think
on your
that's pretty
prices."
low. That's a
It
pretty
is, and we all told her like, "May, you need to go up on your prices." And then we'd pause and go, "But for everybody else, not for me,
yeah.
just the rest of the knuckleheads."
So would you recommend everybody, I mean, retired people, like for me, I have my retirement visa because I'm over 50.
Mhm.
Would you recommend myself taking the same thing, language school?
I would, especially maybe not at if you found a good language school, if you can find a private tutor, like someone, and that's what I have as well. Um, I have a private tutor. Actually, she's all properly set up. She's got an English degree. She's got a university degree. She's, I say older. She's only 51, 52, but she's a very proper, nice lady.
Speaks good
Um,
English, I'm sure.
yeah, she's an English
I
major,
want
so
Fern to teach me. Have you heard Fern talk? Holy
that's
cow.
because she grew up in California.
She's a California. I mean, I can't
Uh-huh.
believe, and I watched one of her videos, and that's I forget her channel name. It's gosh, Fern, don't slap me here, but anyway, she has her channel, something Fern, and she speaks also French. And I'm
Mhm.
like, this girl, and she speaks it perfect, like
Y
clear.
Yeah, we
Now,
actually sat down we actually went out to eat breakfast with, Fern a couple weeks back, and she brought her little girl. If you ever see her little girl,
yeah,
I
I
looked at
watched that
Fern.
video.
Yeah, I looked at Fern and I said, "Fern, do me a favor. Keep your little girl off of Soy 5 away from my girlfriend because if she sees that little girl, she's gonna want one."
The
And because she
answer is
was
no,
just
dude. The answer is
yeah,
no. No
and
kids.
yeah, because the little girl is absolutely adorable and, very, just a nice personality and everything. And when Fern was ordering their food, she was turning to her and talking to her in French, and I
Yeah.
said, "Fern, what language do you speak
Perfect
around the
French.
house?" And she goes, "French." She says, "Because my husband and this and that, and we'll work on the Thai and English secondary, as we're going along, but primarily we speak French around the house." And I'm going, "Oh, wow."
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
I'm
okay.
amazed how perfect her English is being a
Right.
Thai, because I know, for Kitty, my Thai girlfriend, she's gotten better and better and better, but to have it perfect, I was just plain shocked. And
Right.
so you being under 50 years old, and here's a question from Pounding Sand. He says, any tips on getting education language 1 year visa to get there? Is this what you did, correct?
I don't like getting into the visa stuff.
We won't talk too much about it, but is this your kind of workaround, let's say?
Yes, and that's why I'm actually going to school because there's some people that go out there and just go to certain agencies and get these visas, and they're not going to school.
Yeah,
Well,
you
as you
gotta
know,
go to school.
a certain nationality by the name of China, um, how did the how did 45 China? um, they were coming in the country and they were doing, the education visa and not going to school, and they were here for other not so nice reasons and setting
Mhm.
up their criminal empires and scams and everything. When the government realized what was going on, they started cracking down really hard on these education visas. And everybody that wasn't on the up and up with it or wasn't going to school
Mhm.
was finding themselves in trouble. Like, I talked to one of the guys and he had, they looked in his passport. He went home and I forget where he went. He lived somewhere in Europe. He said when he got back, they looked in his passport, started flipping through the pages, and he says they turned to him and started talking Thai and were asking him questions. They asked him to count to 10. They asked him certain things. They asked him what he thought about Thai people. What did he think about Thailand? They asked him, just simple stuff that
And
if
this
you've
was
gone
at
to,
immigration or
this was at passport control at Svanabum Airport
wow.
because he had a education visa. So, um, you know, it was, he, uh, he said, man, he says, if I wouldn't have gone to school, I would have been sitting there going, what are you saying? Micah Jai, Micah Jai, something like that. But, because I was worried about it because I was told that, hey, there's a possibility that they're going to, you know, ask you some questions in Thai when you come back in. And I'm
Yeah.
going, oh crap, here we go. Oh man, I should have done my homework. And then someone was like, yeah, because like I said, we talked to, not only him, but somebody else. And they're like, yeah, they asked me to count to 10. I was like, yes, they're keeping it easy.
You know what's
So,
funny is that was the first thing I learned. I have this app. It's a Thai language app,
mhm.
and I still have a hard time counting to 10. Just so you know, I'm like, okay, bat. What's bat?
Eight. I
Yeah, I have to think about it. It's not
What
natural
what
yet.
will get me is when because I still have to, and I've talked to quite a few people, and when you ask me, was Thai language school worth it? I'm going to um, clarify it with this. I was down talking to a Thai couple once, and I was telling them about how when I went to language school, stuff became more clear with communication with Thai people, understand not just going there and learning words, but
Mhm.
understanding how the actual language works and the breakdown of sentences compared to English. So we have rules now with my girlfriend and I. We don't text one another because I know Google Translate will mess it up from time to time.
Yes, absolutely.
It's still, like one day I said, I text her in English. I said, my neck hurts. She shows up at my apartment with a bunch of throat lozenges and everything like that because
Mhm.
Google Translate translated it into jib call, which is sore throat, instead of buat call, which is sore neck, or muai,
Yeah.
sore area. So it changed it into hurt, which in Thai language was, my throat's sore. So I'm sitting there going, I'm not sick. My freaking neck hurts. I just need some aspirin or something like
Give you
that.
some drugs.
Not throat lozenges. And when I showed it to Crew May, she was like, "Oh yeah, Google messed up on that one. There's another one that they've messed up on." So when someone says Thai to me, I always have to go, poo cha cha, which is slowly, slowly, because if you say more than one sentence to me in Thai right now, I'm still translating the first one in my head. I'm taking all the
Yeah,
words
it's not
and putting them
natural.
back. I'm putting them back around into the order which I'm used to in English. Like, if a Thai person were to say "Pun kun cherai," which is what is your friend's name, or loosely translates, friend you named what? That's the exact order that it was in. So I hear that and I'm going, okay, they just said friend you, so that's your friend's named and what. So okay, what is your friend's name? So all that's going on in my head when I'm doing it, and I'm sitting there talking to the Thai couple,
Mhm.
and the lady goes, "Yes, thank you." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "I have to do the same thing
To
when
slow
y'all speak
down.
to me in English." She
Yeah.
says, "I'm putting it back in the order for a tie." And her husband just is looking at us both, still kind of going, and I think it was one of those epiphanies. He's going, "That's why." a lot of times she's looking at me with a confused look because if you get real excited, and this is, a lot of these people here, they've learned English on the fly
Oh,
or
they're
going to
happy
school.
though.
Like,
They're
yeah, they're
excited
going to
about learning. Cause Kitty,
right,
she gets
Kitty, yeah,
excited about it.
and Kitty's learning right now. I can talk to Kitty, and of course you can talk to Kitty. But if I come at
Mhm.
Kitty and go, "Hey, Kitty, go down the street, do da 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 da," she's gonna be like, "What?"
Yeah, no, you have to
So
go slow for
pump the
her.
brakes, pump the brakes, Ryan.
Yeah, have to go
So
slow.
just going to school and realizing all those things and just the basics of the language and how it works, and it really does help you communicate better with a Thai person. And of course, I'm one of these rednecks from America that have
Mhm.
have always stomped my feet all the
You're
time,
Southern,
going,
man.
yeah,
Southern
and I'm going, if you come into America, you need to learn English. God damn it!
America.
So here I am coming into another country. So it's like, man, I got to put my money where my mouth is.
It's so true, man.
I've got to at least make the attempt to try to learn the language here. Now, there's so many
Yeah.
dialects. There's so many dialects
But it
here.
isn't necessary. I mean, you and I
It
both figured that out, that it isn't necessary that you have to learn the language. You need to learn manners or you're
it
gonna
very
things are
much
gonna
so, but
happen.
I can tell you that if you start learning little bits here and there, it starts opening up a lot
Oh, yeah, I
more
agree.
because I've gone around places with guys that, know how to say hello, thank you, and
That's
goodbye,
me.
basically. Yeah. You're learning a little bit more, and we were trying to find an open place and, they're talking with the cleaning ladies that don't know English and they're going, "Are you open?" And it's like they're making the common mistakes. Oh, if the person doesn't understand you, slow down the language and speak louder. Are you? It's like they don't understand English. It's like, bird my you. How hard is that? Bird, open, my you, currently, bird my you,
Yeah.
simple. And that might not be the way that a Thai says it, but at the same time, if I slow it down, bird my, the open with the question and then you in the moment. So bird my you. And I was able to speak to the lady and they're like, oh my, they would then realize that they can't carry on a conversation. I'm, like we would say pigeon English, I'm speaking pigeon Thai. And it just you can communicate with people. Now, to
And
your
it's
point
and
of
it's not
not,
that expensive. Like you said,
no,
it's 6,000 baht and that's 176 bucks. Thanks, Joe, for putting it up there.
and to your credit, so I was dumped off in the middle of Chiang Kham one time when I was on an adventure with my Thai family, and they were like, it's nap time. It's 2 o'clock. We're all going to
Mhm.
take a break. Ron, you good? Yeah, yeah. So I went to my hotel room. Well, I knew where Seven was down the street because Sevens are everywhere. I'm walking to the Sevens because I want to get a little afternoon snack and a pack of cigarettes. And I'm the whole way, and this is months ago. So I'm rehearsing my Thai. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need this, so I'm gonna need to say this. There is no word for camel, but there is a word for blue. So if we da da da, so I'm rehearsing this the whole walk. It's like, okay, I'm armed and ready with my pigeon Thai. I'm going to speak to people. I get down there and walk in, and we're in the middle of the village up near Lao, and I hear hello, and it was coming from the younger people that were behind the counter at Seven, and I wind up sitting there, and after I got my stuff and checked out, we wound up sitting there and having a chat. For they wanted to speak English with me, so I wound up
Yes.
having a chat with
Yes.
them for a little while, and of course, I was saying,
Because they want to
like Camel
learn.
Blue, yeah, they do,
I mean,
most
that's
people.
Kitty. Kitty, she loves speaking English with
Mhm.
me. And, Mike's his wife, who's from the Philippines, doesn't
Who
speak a
speaks
lick of Thai,
right, no,
nothing,
yeah.
but she speaks English. And
Well,
we're
yeah, it's the
neighbors now.
Philippines,
So,
right, yeah.
yeah, Kitty's with Gracie, Mike's wife, Gracie, with her almost every day when they're, in the
Mhm.
condo and they're speaking English for a long time. And I got to tell you what, forget getting English lessons. It has helped Kitty tremendously, in which I will be posting a video on walking on my shoes of her reading a book. And
Mhm.
she doesn't know that yet. She does now if she's still watching.
And
I
Kitty's
will be,
English has probably progressed further than my Thai
oh,
because if,
she's picking it up
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
So, well, this is a great question right here. So we know it's 176 bucks, But how often do you go? I mean, do you practice before you go to another class? And this is coming from Patrick.
Well, like I said before, a crew may, or she's older, so of course I say P May, but crew is teacher. Like if y'all ever seen Crew Muwan in the chats, I know he's very popular amongst a lot of the chats that we're all in. Crew is actually teacher, and he's doing an English phonetics with a KHRU, and then Muwan, which should be
Mm.
pig. So it's pig teacher
Wait,
or
what's
teacher
pig?
pig, Uwan.
Uon.
Yeah,
I thought it was moo or something.
that's pork. That's the meat.
Poor, that's the meat, but pig is.
And how many times have you walked in a place and they're going, "Oh, Uwan Tini, which Uwan's here."
Uh, this is, you're teaching me something brand new. I can tell you that right now. So this is what's great about Thai is
Mhm.
for me, it's always brand new. And by the way, here we go. It is Fern Unfiltered. So go
Yes.
check her channel out,
Yeah, I
guys.
think someone even put the link. I think Joe put the link. What's
Great.
confusing and
And she's
and I
very organic. Her channel is super organic. She doesn't do a bunch of edits. She doesn't filter anything. She just
mhm.
does her stuff, which I
Does a
really
lot of
like.
live stream, a lot of, cooking. She, just a lot of daily life. I
Yeah.
think she's up over 3,000 now. Can
Which
I
she,
pull back the curtains a little bit and
yeah, pull it
like,
back.
do the Wizard of Oz with everybody? So, I want y'all
Unpack.
to imagine this. So I'm looking at Robbie right, and if I can do my SWAT fingers here, I'm looking at Robbie about right there for the, cameras backwards. Off to the right, I can see the chat. So with Restream, we're all it's streamed on, of course, Eat Out Pattaya right now, Walking in My Shoes, The Spot, and Live My Ass Off. So it's actually being streamed on 4 different ones, but we can see everybody's chat combined to the right, like
Yes.
in the corner. So I've seen a whole bunch of people come in and ask questions and say hello, and I've been quite rude by not responding to it. And I'm trying to, like, if you see me, all of a sudden I do this number. I'm going back to my channel to look at stuff. Like I can see Daz was there. I think some of y'all are switching back and forth between all the channels because I have Robbie's up. Like I see, oh, well, actually, I'm on the spot right now, and um, I see Patrick. That's where his questions are coming in. And I tell you what, it's I'm trying to make mental notes, and I'm glad you're keeping up with it. I don't know how you do it, Robbie. I have a hard enough keeping up with one channel, let alone all the questions that are coming in from the 4 different ones. So hats
What I,
off and kudos to you because I have Mitch come on the show
yeah.
just for that.
Yeah,
Just for
having
that.
somebody would be, and that's something that Mike's and I have talked about. We need to get
A
a
Robbie
production
Quivers.
engineer. Well, basically a production person that
Uh-huh.
comes in, they do this stuff, they put things together, and they're kind of behind the scenes.
Mhm.
And yeah, who does that kind of stuff. So, by the way, this is Christian Shipwreck. This is my son who's 24 years old, 23 years old, and in the military, the Air Force, and he's saying hi, Dad. So I just talked to him today. So I told him to tune in to the show and leave a comment, and so there he goes. So
Yeah.
thank you, Christian. So here we go. And we don't have tons of questions. So if you guys want to leave a question, that would be completely and totally awesome. We really, really, really would appreciate it. And in the meantime, let's check this out. So, you guys, Pattaya Motorbikes. So, the only way we're able to keep this station going is some of our sponsors. This is what's really helping us out, keeping us going, keeping us afloat. And Pattaya Motorbikes, the home of the 100 Bot motorbike. I'm not sure if he has any 100 Bot motorbikes left, but if you ask him and you say, Robbie from the spot or Mike's from the spot sent you, I bet you can get a 100 Bot motorbike. That's a daily rental. You get 10% off your rental. So it's really kind of cool. So check out Pattaya Motorbike Rentals on Facebook, or you can check out PattiaMotorbikeRentals.com, and it's right there. His page comes up. But what's really cool, really friendly family that runs this business. And it's really cool, and it's really good prices. And a matter of fact, when I'm there in Pattaya, I will be renting a Pattaya Bikes motorbike rental. I think I'm getting a 150 or whatever the Honda Click is. I'm getting a
Mhm.
small guy, and I'll be driving it around Patio with the big pink sticker on it. So, anyways, be sure to check them out. They're Patio Bike Motorbike Rentals, and again, this is how we keep our channel alive and us kind of keeping the studio for right now. So there we
Well,
go. Hey, you know what? I gotta bring this up, Ryan, just because our channel, there's a couple rules we go by. We don't talk about politics, which is a big
Yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah.
We don't play Thai music other than the anthem at it's 8 and 6 every
Mhm,
day.
mhm.
And then we don't talk about really news. However, I wanted to show this image here. And so if you guys are familiar with what's going on here, this is a bungee jumper who's on a 10-story crane tower. So it's kind of a mix. It's a crane that lifts you up in this elevator through a tower. Well, this guy, if you guys are looking at the picture, he's jumping. And this is the actual picture, the actual guy. He jumps off this called ankle jumping. So basically, it's a bungee cord tied to his ankles and it snaps. So would this deter you away from bungee jumping, or would you be crazy enough to bungee jump? I actually want to know in the comments, you guys. Put it in the comments. This just happened, I believe, yesterday in Pattaya. His cord broke and he smashed into the water and he lived. So I don't know how hurt he got. I didn't read the news. I saw it. I heard it from a friend. I'm like, really? And I looked it up. And here's just one of the many images. There's other images of the cord actually snapping. I guess there's a video floating around. I didn't have the video, but would you go bungee jumping? So Ryan, would you go bungee jumping? Let's hear it.
No, no, and listen, the cord snapping wouldn't have prevented, me from going bungee jumping. It's the height that would have prevented me.
Yeah, that's 10 stories, man. That's pretty tall.
I don't deal with heights too well. I can remember when I first got here
140
and,
feet. What is that? 160
uh,
feet, something like that.
10 stories, 100 and something. So, when I first got here, I was looking at I had friends that own apartments, multiple apartments, and one of them was going, "Hey, I wanna show you a few of them." So we go to the cliff, and he
Mm.
brings me up into a one-bedroom in the cliff in Cozy Beach, and, was gonna rent it to me for, a fair price. Wasn't a great deal, but I wasn't getting gouged. And he's like, "Man, I got a really nice room up there." It was like on the 22nd floor, and it had a great view of the water. And he's like, "Look at this, Ryan," and da da da. And I'm going, "Dave, ain't no way in hell I'm living here." He's like, "Why?" I said, "I love sitting on my balcony, and I'm gonna be scared shitless sitting on that balcony." He goes, "But look at the view." I said, "I don't care. Look how high it is." I said, "Get me on a lower floor." And everybody's going, "Oh, he wants a lower floor because he's cheap Charlie." I said, "I want a lower floor because I'm scared shitless of heights." I said, "You're not gonna see me up on that Pattaya Tower either, and you're not gonna see me riding down the zip line on the Pattaya Tower. You're not gonna see me getting in that little crane gondola and riding down there." One, because I've seen the anchor points and how rusty they are.
Over at the
Uh,
Pattaya Tower.
yeah.
I chickened out on that, just so you
Mhm.
know. That's the big round kind of observation. It's a buffet, right?
Right, 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 and I've had people go there to go eat and,
And then they
let's
get
see,
on the
we don't
ride and throw up on the
know
way down.
the I don't think the ride is the reason why they threw up, but I'm not gonna get into that because we don't slack people off. Let's just say in my words, when I always say when I want to speak ill of a restaurant without speaking ill, and I said if I ever went back to this place, I'd have the Coke Zero. I think everybody there was satisfied with their
Man,
Coke Zero.
I would not want to be sick from seafood, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And here we go. Big news. The rope did snap, which, yeah, I did see it.
Mhm.
And here we go. They can keep bungee jumping, never in Thailand, which I think that's pretty funny. And this guy, here we go. He says, Mark says, Australia, yes. Thailand, no. Yeah, you're
There's
right.
no
There's no
there's no
OSHA.
OSHA. Yeah, no OSHA here in Thailand.
I love Robert Mack's comment. Nope, I weigh too much.
No, he just had her knee replacements.
He did, but you know what? I guess you might need it if you're ankle jumping. I mean, they strap it to your ankles. And he goes, I'm all right with you, Ryan. I won't catch me. Yeah, above the fourth floor. So that's Patrick. He doesn't
And
like heights.
and I'm sitting on the 3rd floor, and the way I kinda looked at it is, okay, let's say if a, fire ever breaks out in this building, I can't get down because you're not gonna take the, elevator in a fire, so if fire breaks out below you, I wanna at least be able to jump
Yeah.
from my balcony and survive. Okay. I'm sorry, I got distracted, naked Thai lady in my room. Um,
So if you guys really want to know what Ryan's up to and why he has that screen behind him,
uh
there's the answer. Thanks for the candidness. Well, I got to tell you guys. So I used to bungee jump, and I was telling Ryan this. I bungee jumped a lot when I was 20. I did a dozen jumps or so, and I did the ankle jumping, which to me was the best because your arms are free and you're not harnessed with the chest. A lot of you use the chest jump. So basically, right in your belly button, essentially, and you jump and you can do flips and stuff like that, and it's kind of fun. And I was always worried about getting tangled up, so I just kind of fell and held my arms out across and just go. You know what? I would still bungee jump today, but there's no way I would skydive. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that either.
no way. I mean, I like
Mm.
doing some dangerous stuff. Like I like scuba diving. I am going to be scuba diving at Koh Tao in a few weeks, so I will be there and going to do a
You
scuba
know,
diving.
we were talking about that the other day, talking about some people that were scuba, and I told people, I said, I've got my PADI certification, but it's been so long since I scuba
Come
dived.
with me, man. Come on, I'm
I'd have to
going.
go through a begin. I would actually get the instructors to hook up my equipment. I'd say, someone run through my equipment, hook it up for me
Yeah,
before I go into the water because it's been that long since I've actually done it. It's should
yeah.
definitely, but it's been about 3, 4 years before
It's
I've hooked up
it's
equipment.
been a year and a half for me.
So,
Um, so there's Christian says, thanks, Robert Mack, for the support. Just in case you guys don't know, my son's in the military, Air Force. So yeah, definitely all the support's pretty awesome for you guys.
mhm,
So Koh Tao is top diving. You know what? That's what I've
I've
heard,
heard that.
and that's what I hope. And has anybody taken that cruise? It's a little cruise ship from Pattaya or right around Pattaya to Koh Samui. I
The
mean,
sea yeah, the Sea Force,
Seahorse. I think that is what
Seahorse.
it's called.
No, I know it is. I was just, I was just there the other day. If you ever, I've got the give me a second. Watch this. I'll put their line group in
You
here
know
for
what? Put that
everybody.
line group up because I'm curious who has taken it. And here's Joe saying he would skydive with me. Oh no, Joe, I'm not skydiving. I just
Yeah,
won't do it. I mean, it's bad enough the dude's bungee cord snapped and he did live, but I guarantee you it was not a pretty picture. I don't know if he's still alive. I'm hopefully he is. But skydiving, it's pretty much a 99.9% chance you are not going to make it. And I am afraid of heights. However, to combat that, I'm the guy who goes to the Riviera in Jomtien and wants to stay on the 42nd floor. So I know it's kind of crazy because the windows and the Jomtien, if any of you guys have ever been there at the Riviera, they're floor to ceiling. So when you wake up and roll out of the rack, you are looking at the ocean, and it's so awesome. I love it. That is an upside to that. Is it worth 30,000 baht a month? I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
Anyways, here we go. Doug is saying, Ryan, retired cop from Illinois. There we go.
Uh-huh.
Started the big sell off and move over. Was it hard adjusting without your firearm? You know what? Answer that question. That would be an awesome one
I
to get your
I still
feedback.
have my guns with me. They're everywhere I go. They're right here, baby. The guns are out.
Why did I
Um,
think you were going to do that?
it's boy, that's oh, I won't say that I've been lazy. I've never I did conceal carry, especially if I went shopping in Walmart. Um,
There's
I
no
was
Walmarts in Thailand, buddy. It's
I
called Big
know, but I'm
C,
talking
right?
about back home. I'm trying to think how I can answer this nicely. Wasn't a big gun person, so I had guns because it was part of the tool and part of the trade. Like some people are
Yeah.
passionate about their weapons. I get it. I really do. It's what your passion is. I was never one to be passionate about them. Now, my guns did go to my brother, and I had to
Hmm.
explain to him that, hey, this is a loan, not a give.
Yeah.
So when I retired and hit the reset button and said, I'm done with this, and I walked away, I truly walked away and came over here because I was over here less than a week later after retiring. And I don't miss my guns at all. Like I don't. It's
Nope.
just
They're a
not. It,
tool.
it it isn't. I understand it would be a thing for some people. Trust me. I've
Yeah.
worked with these guys, and I worked with people like Doug because I know where he's coming from. Um, it's um, it's just it's not a thing for me. I went down and saw the range and saw the price to shoot here. I have no desire. Like if you said, "Hey Ryan, we're going to go shoot some guns," I'd be like, oh, "Okay, cool. That'd be awesome." But at
You're
the same
buying the
time,
bullets, buddy.
yeah, well, definitely over here you're buying the bullets. Um, but when I go back home, it's not going to be like one of those for like Daz is saying he goes back and gets in there and does some range time. When I get back, it's just not going to be a thing for me to go to the range. Now, I tell you, I will
Yeah.
confiscate one of my Glocks back, and it will go in the truck with me in a certain position to if anybody comes up to the window and tries to carjack me or kill me, they'll see the not
But
so
your
nice
life,
end of
yeah,
the
and your
yeah,
life's not there anymore. I mean,
yeah.
so owning
So,
it is not a big deal.
yeah, it's funny. I told someone, it was Chris, Spanky and the Bear went on their channel real quick, and he was making a little joke, lighthearted. He wasn't being serious. He's like, "Everybody straighten up. The cops coming on in a little while." And I had to pull the whole, "Hey, dude,
Is
I'm
that you?
retired." Yeah, that was me. And because he had sent me the link and said, "Ryan, if you want to," I said, "Give me a second. I'll jump on the channel real quick." And I had to pull it out straight away. I'm like, "Listen, it's like that old line from Tombstone. I'm retired.
Yeah.
That's something I did a life ago now. To me, it feels like, and the
But you did it
politics that the
right. I mean, you pretty much hit the reset button because that's an
yes.
important word. And
Mhm.
for me, my reset button's kind of pushed down a little more because I have to keep coming back.
Yeah.
So, like a lot of you guys can see behind me, this is my apartment, which tonight is my last night in this apartment.
Mhm.
So, I will not have this place to come back to. So, the reset button for me has been a gradual where
Right.
you
I hit it
at
hard.
before retirement age. We're talking you chose to live your best life.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking at a young age, and I admire that personally because I known about Thailand and the people, and again, it's not only the hot girls and whatever, it's the whole everything
It's
for
the whole
me,
package.
the
It
whole
really is.
package. And I'm
Yeah.
asked all the time, why don't you go to Spain? You loved Spain because I loved being over
Mhm.
in Spain and I love traveling, but something about Thailand and Bangkok and all that stuff. So hitting that reset button it was definitely pretty darn important for sure.
Yeah. It's
So
it's, and Doug saying that's good to hear, not missing it, 20 years was enough. I say the same thing that everybody else has said. I don't miss the work anymore because the work has definitely changed.
it's
Anybody
work.
that's well, it's not that it's law enforcement had changed in the last, about
Oh
5 years or so, 5, 10 years, and it really was getting more and more difficult as time was getting on with the general stupidity of the general public. And I'm one of these firm believers, not the police that need to be retrained or the old police. These new guys coming in suck because they've lowered standards, but it's the public that needs to be retrained. And if I ever had any evidence of it, look at what's happening on airlines now. They can't even act right on a goddamn flight, and they're having more problems on plane rides than they ever had before. It's getting spotlighted in the media. You're
yeah,
having
it's social
more
media. It's
you're
crazy.
having you're having more and more incidents on airplanes where passengers are getting unruly or disrespectful. It's going across society is because people have lost their ability to communicate and speak to each other in a proper way.
Yeah,
They've lost their
definitely. I
decorum.
see
So,
that for sure.
just
Um, yeah.
you look at when people go to restaurants and order food, they're looking at the menu and they don't even look at the waitress or waiter in the eye and say, "I would like the chicken sandwich, please," or "Can
Hmm.
you please bring me or I would like to order." They're like, "Yeah, give me the chicken sandwich and some fries and a Coke." And it's like, dude, can you be any more ruder? It's like that. You've lost your total socialness to you, and definitely social media's helped with that because
Oh
no
yeah.
one's forced to be put in social situations.
You
Um,
know what? Another thing that's awesome about being in Thailand when you decide to make that retirement move or be there for longer than holiday is you forget about stuff. I mean, Doug
mhm,
here makes a comment, or Robert does, excuse me. Uh, Robert Mack says, Doug, you'll forget about your guns once you're in Thailand. You meet a beautiful lady. Okay, I don't know about the guns part or anything, but he's right. You forget about
yeah.
stuff. I mean, you don't talk about politics really. You're not engaging in
We
that. You're living
still
that
talk
life.
about politics.
But it isn't like in your face. I mean, like
No,
when
it's
I'm over
not.
here, I mean, it's depressing. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, I'm miserable. I go there. I don't even know. Oh, is Trump still president or Biden or is he still alive? I mean, I'm like wondering what's going on sometimes because we don't talk about it that much. At
You
least
know,
I
we
don't.
we do have the talks about, is how much we don't miss the politics of it all. And, like me, I have my phone there, and when um, I open up Google, there's all the headlines for the day or what they
Yeah.
perceive the headlines I want to see because I look at so much crap and I'll see it and I just kind of scroll through the headlines and I'm going, nope, 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 nope. And inevitably I'll start reading stuff and because I'm getting multiple sources, I'm getting multiple angles on it and I'm going, yeah, this is why I kind of stopped looking at it
Yeah,
because
definitely.
the way they're twisting up the headlines. Listen, I worked like it and just in dealing with local media and incidents that happened, I had been part of big scenes and I was all wrapped up like I was in the know on some things that were happening to the point to where when the PIO showed up, I'm sitting there spoon feeding them the information, and we're talking about what to give the give the media. So I see the information that's being spoon fed to the media, and then the next day or that night, I'm seeing what the media is actually reporting on, and I'm going, no. No, 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 no. That's not what happened at all. Here's the freaking printout
Yeah.
that we actually said, here, media, here's the story. This is what's going on. This is why we're over here. And it's totally went with their narrative or whatever they wanted to make it. And I'm sitting there going, if this is just happening on a small
Mhm.
local level, it's happening on a larger level. So my trust in the media, I- definitely went down. And that was way, way, way before the ex-president started sensationalizing, saying the false now I'd been saying that years before he did,
Yeah,
so
and everybody's been saying that. It was way
mhm,
before he came into power for sure.
right.
But, the cool thing about Thailand is you don't think about it. At least,
No,
again, I don't. And everybody I've talked to when I've interviewed people or talked to them, I ask them, what's one of the things you really enjoy? And they say the peace. And I say, elaborate that is because we're not
right.
involved in our phones and our social media and
Oh,
they're
I was
just enjoying this life.
mhm,
So pounding sand, Brent, not Roger, a former Marine scout, never fell in love with his guns, just wanted some peace and smiles. And you know what? You're getting that over there in Thailand. At least I think
yeah,
you are.
and I
Ryan,
think
yeah, are you still
Vanderbilt
getting
just
that?
put it it said, "Being in Thailand, you are out of sight, out of mind." Boy, that's pretty good, that's accurate, right? Out of sight, out of mind. I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I came over here just to drown out the noise, and we're getting reports from people like you, and you're always upbeat, and you've got an upbeat personality, so you don't mention it too much, especially on the show because we do try to keep the show upbeat for the
Yeah.
most part. And I try. I don't exactly pull it off. Sometimes I like keeping it real. Um,
It's the big reel, baby. Come on,
be
the
real.
big reel.
So we're getting reports from everybody that's made it back home that has been here in Thailand before the pandemic that got, sort of stuck here, so to say. They weren't really stuck here, but they're like, man, I ain't going back home because I might not make it back. So they're now just getting home to go visit after 3, 4 years of being away from America.
Yeah.
And they're all going, get me the hell out of this place. They're like, oh my God, has people changed? They're going, it's ridiculous. They, they're like, they don't even feel like it's home anymore. And I said that about my home because my home was changing while I was there, so I know it's changed a lot more, and when people talk about missing home, I say, I miss home too, but there's no home to go back to.
So is Thailand your home?
I wouldn't call it exactly for now, it is home's where
O-
your heart is and where you hang your hat.
Okay.
So, yeah, my heart's been in Thailand for quite a few years. I can remember coming on vacation or holiday here, and then going back home and feeling like a foreigner in my own hometown. Going, man,
Yes.
it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't have the same feels. And so, coming here and now that I've been here for about a year and a half, the only thing that's going to feel right getting back home is the Taco
Hmm.
Bell drive-through. because
The
y'all.
drive-through even. Forget about Taco Bell being the worst restaurant ever.
No, 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 no. That thing they got on beach road's an abomination.
It really is, and
That
Kitty
thing is a
loves it, and it drives me nuts.
well, if they're making money, God bless them. You can't, you've seen it before. You'll see some business models like
Yeah.
we'll talk about this all the time.
Well, the
You
Burger
see
King
some,
is on fire over there. How in the
yeah,
heck are they doing it for that price they're selling burgers for?
yeah, well, it's rats.
I honestly I can't believe how much they're selling. I mean, Thailand's
uh
notorious for being inexpensive, but Burger King, it's the same prices. It just
yeah,
shocked the heck out of me. And the food is not good, but that's just my opinion.
I
I'm not
just
gonna
never.
bash anything, but
I don't think I've made it to Burger King. I ate a
yeah.
chicken sandwich at McDonald's because I was in a real big pinch one day and I just needed food. So, um, you know, it's yeah. One time at McDonald's for a chicken sandwich or something. That was at Tucson Mall. Wasn't even a good McDonald's, but that Taco Bell. I can tell you, I know when I'm flying in, and I'm hey Zeekman, um, if you've ever I'm flying in about midday, so I know that we have to pass a Taco Bell on the way home, and my parents are picking me up at the airport, and I can guarantee you one thing, when we pass up that Taco Bell, I'm gonna be pointing, going, "Pull in there, pull in there." That's gonna be one of the first
No
things I
chalupas,
eat.
baby. Come on, no chalupas in Thailand.
They do, they're just in other places.
You know what's and it's not even
Hey,
beef. Yeah, and they don't have beef tacos there. It's crazy. I mean, you have to order a special
they don't
taco.
have a bean burrito at Taco Bell in Thailand.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
I mean,
crazy.
it's not even a plain bean burrito. It's like that's like the taco and a bean burrito, and they don't even have that. So, um, yeah,
Well, and here's
it
Kitty. Here's
I
Kitty.
like
She
Taco
says, "I
Bell.
like Taco Bell," and she really, honestly does like Taco Bell. And I took her for the first time, and it was just, it's something when I went to college. I grew up on Taco Bell and a Pollo Local, which is a chicken place
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
I lived right around the corner from that I could go to. So, I
I
mean,
re see in high school. Remember when debit cards really? Now I'm a little bit younger than you, so debit cards really
yeah, I
got
am 50.
popular. Yeah, I'm definitely younger than you. Debit cards got popular when I was in high school, about my freshman, sophomore year, and I had a little small checking bank account, so I had a debit card. That's about when fast food restaurants started taking debit cards. One of the
Yeah,
first ones to do it was Wendy's and Taco
Cappy.
Bell. Wendy's and Taco Bell
That's
were one
right.
of the first ones. So
Oh, I
when
do
you're a
love
kid,
Wendy's.
yeah, I do too. Um, so we were one of the first, when you're, 16, 15, 16 years old, and back then it was like you needed cash for everything. And of course, you're going to the movies, you spend your cash at the movies or wherever you're
Hmm.
going out that night. And before you're going home, you're all going to meet up at a little fast food place just to get something to eat and talk before you have to make it home by curfew. And you're running low on cash. It's like, hey, everybody, let's go to Taco Bell. They take the debit card. Yeah, we go there. So we're sitting there, being able to pay with a debit card. Now it's like, I, I'm wondering what the percentage is of people paying with debit cards at the fast food places. Um, is compared to cash. I'm willing to bet it's like
Oh yeah, gift cards, debit cards,
I'm
QR
willing to
codes.
say it's 75% or
Oh
more,
yeah.
has to be. There's been a big change of it on who is,
Yeah, cash is
who
becoming more and more
yeah,
obsolete, but we knew that, while we
right.
were in school.
Oh, even
And
here, I'm starting to carry less cash on me here because of Scan.
yeah. Yeah, because you can. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you scan. Yeah, if you're using a QR code. I am still surprised that here in America we haven't adopted that QR system in our restaurants. It just blows my mind. But speaking of money, let's go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors here. So All Point IPTV. If you guys have not heard of All Point IPTV, I think you guys should give it a try. You get a 24-hour free trial. And again, have you heard of it? What is it? Well, let's say you have the Conor McGregor fight or the F1 racing or a horse race or whatever is going on. Matter of fact, I'm not sure what event is getting ready to go on, but if you had IP All Point IPTV, you can try it out for free. Doesn't cost you anything. To get a UFC fight right now, it's about 45 to 60 bucks just to get the fight. But with All Point IPTV, you get it for nothing. Try it for free. If you like it, then you're going to pay the $10 a month for all these channels. We're talking Netflix movies, 100 different sporting events, all sorts of cool stuff. But check out their website, All Point IPTV, and I don't even see the website link on there. I think it's allpointiptv.com. Is that correct, Ryan? Can you yell that at me? Is that the
Oh
correct?
yeah, that'd be it.
Yeah, allpointiptv.com. Go check it out. Again, it is cost nothing. Get the F1, which I think they're finalizing this weekend. If they haven't, go get ready for the next race. Check it out. Allpointiptv.com. Anyways, be sure to tell them the Spot sent you, spot.fm, and get a free hug on us. There you go. I like the free hug part, by the way.
The free
I wonder if
hug.
that
You get a
actually
free hug.
works.
A mouth hug or a hand hug or an arm hug.
Yeah, and never mind that last graphic says here. So let's roll into Songkran. We got Songkran coming up. Are you planning on going to Songkran by any chance?
I think just being here, you're going to Songkran. I mean, it's like
Yes.
saying, "Are you going to the Christmas?" It's
Does,
it's
does
a
Christmas alive? Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be here, and this is gonna be the biggest one that you've seen,
I've
in
never
many
seen it.
years.
I was there
Um,
last year and they canceled
yeah.
it a week before.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, I was here last year. I'm trying to think, I think they did cancel Songkran, but even, okay, once again, we always talk about what is written and what is are 2 different things.
It
I know
didn't
they
happen.
weren't. Yeah, I know the big, but I still think I got some water thrown on me. I think someone was stupid and I showed up at a restaurant, or not a restaurant. I went to one of those open air, like, cafes or something like that. And as soon as I stopped my bike and got off of it, someone had a bottle of water and threw it at me or
Yeah.
something and said, "Happy Songkran." I was like, "Oh, you rat
And
bastard."
guys, Songkran is April 13th through the 16th, and they
19th,
have this
19th,
awesome
19th,
19th. They have
19th.
this awesome music lineup, which is the 13th through the 16th, or something like 3 days, 13th, 14th, 15th. And I know you really can't see it right here, but type in Songkran Pattaya in your Google search, and you'll come up with
Mhm,
these flyers here, and it talks about the bands and the musicians. And this is the Rolling Out Loud Thailand tour they're doing. It's pretty pricey, but man, when I saw how many names were on that list, I was
mhm.
like, these are legit
Oh,
American
very
Western
much so.
artists.
Oh, is Chris
Yeah.
Brown the one that peed on his girlfriend?
Dude, I do not keep up with these freaking guys. I don't even know who Cardi B is. Is that a guy or a girl? I don't even know what genders
That's
or.
the ex-stripper that's the
Oh
one that did, oh, what was this song? It was like every other word was vulgar. Not that I'm
gosh,
against
I don't
vulgar
even
words.
know.
It was, oh, come on, it was, oh, wet wet ussy, and we'll just say it like that, and I forgot to put the P on it.
You don't have
I
to worry about being
Okay,
demonetized on this channel. You could say just about
yeah.
anything you want. So, on that thought, here's a couple of pro tips for you guys. If I'm coming over to Thailand for the first time, or a second time, or a third time, these are 5 apps. Ryan, do you know anything about these apps? And if so, could you talk about it real quick?
I've got every single one of them.
Talk about it.
Line is, I wanna say, yeah, because you gotta go to the bathroom, don't you? See, I keep it real with everybody. So, everybody here in the chat probably got Line already. Now, they've got Grab up here, but I'm gonna give you an alternative to Grab, which is Food Panda, because a lot of times with Grab, it's good for transportation of food, but sometimes you don't get the translation on it. And if you don't read Thai, you could be ordering spicy chicken by accident, and some of you might not like the spicy chicken. So, along with Grab, do Food Panda. Agoda, great for hotels. I have Agoda. I've used it before, of course, hotels, um,
Bolt?
hotels.com. Bolt. Yeah, you got Bolt in there. I'm I'm surprised Bolt hasn't been bought out by Grab yet. We all thought for sure, kind of like Mint Mobile in, Canada and the US with Ryan Reynolds just got bought out by Verizon or one of the big ones.
Yeah.
We thought for sure Bolt was coming out there and having such low prices. They were doing it to pull customers away from Grab, which they did, and they've successfully done that. And then eventually Grab looks over and goes, "Wait a second,
Yeah.
we're getting beat here. We're going to buy Bolt." I still say it's in the cards. I just don't know what's going to happen. I thought it would have happened by now. But yeah, Bolt's awesome.
Yeah, I love Bolt. I use it all the time, and that's like my top app on my phone is when I'm there. If I don't have a motor scooter, and even when I do, and I'm with Kitty, and I want to go to Terminal 21 from middle of Jomtien to Riviera, I mean,
Mhm.
it's basically 100 baht, $3, and I'm there in a nice, comfortable ride, listening to the radio, and I always say, "Turn on the spot." Oh, of course, the
Yeah.
spot doesn't have a station yet, but we will soon. And I'm like, it's great for $3. Well, why not?
It's I'm one of these people. I'm over here, and some people are like even back in the day when I was in America, and the whole car buying experience. It's like going there and get ready to argue and this and that. I hated that part of it. I hated the negotiation, the arguing back and forth
I
over
hate it too. Yeah,
prices. I always like to I always like to bring someone that was good at it. Like my ex brother-in-law was a car salesman, so of course I'd bring him along to go buy a car, and he used to fight with them SOBs back and forth on
oh yeah,
deals and this, that, the other. Same thing here with the taxi drivers and the motorcycle. It's like,
Bolt's the
what
best.
price it should
That's
be. It's
right.
like, that, oh, I'm sitting on Walking Street and I want to go up to Pratamac. Reasonably, it should be about 100 baht during prime time in the afternoon, something like that. So when they look at you and start with this 250 baht and you give them that sideways look and you're like, come on, man, it should be about 100 baht. Don't try to gouge me. I'm not a tourist.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I
Bolt
think
just Bolt just cancels all that out the window because there's
it
a set
does.
price, and you can order a motor taxi, and I've done it before coming, because there is really no reason whatsoever to, drink and drive on a motorcycle or in a car for that matter over here because the
I can't believe
options,
people do, and they don't
eh,
wear helmets.
the no helmet part, I'm guilty of that as well, but I'll tell you this, if I know that which has been a long time, like every once in a while, the boys will get together and say, "Hey, let's meet down in LK Metro or something like that." If there's any thoughts or remote hints that I want to sit and have a few drinks, I just take a damn taxi or a Bolt down there, get dropped off, walk around to where I need to be, and then when I'm ready to go, I just grab the Bolt app, and my home point's already set into it, and then I got my location and the motorcycle taxi picks me up. And like I said, normally on Bolt, it was even less than what, I would say. So, and there's another thing if you want to be kind of a nice guy out there. So, what I said, okay, in my mind, I would say from here to back home is 100 baht. Sometimes on Bolt, you'll pull it up and it's like 60 baht. Give the guy the 100 baht that you thought it was going to be. Give the guy a tip, you know,
Cheap bastards.
especially if you're drunk. There's been times when we've looked at these boat rides
Don't
that
be a
we're
cheap
taking.
Charlie is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I've said it to, "Hey, Mitch, what's going on?"
Yeah, Mitch
Um,
is on.
you know, we've looked at some of the fares, and it's like, how the heck how the heck can they even start the car for this price and drive, 20 minutes, for 3 or $4 that the
It's
fare was
crazy,
supposed to be?
and in
It's like, give
traffic.
them yeah. So, it's like, give them a tip for crying out
And you
loud.
never hear a complaint. You don't hear a
No.
sigh. They're very happy if you give them 20 baht tip or whatever. Like, just give them the 100 baht total, and you're good. Walk out the door, and it's really that simple. And like Mitch said, Bolt can be a lifesaver.
Yep.
Just as Ryan is alluding to, if he's out drinking with the guys, you know what? Take the Bolt. It's cool.
Mhm.
See, for myself, I don't drink a whole bunch, but I know when I come down for Songkran in the next couple of weeks, I'm staying at a place, beachfront hotel, I think on Soy 4 and Beach Road in Pattaya, and I will be partying with my buddies over there for sure. So you guys, if you guys want to meet me, I want to be down there for Songkran on Beach Road. I want to be doing lots of live streams, all that kind of cool stuff. Ryan, do you do any live streams or anything like that?
Mitch and I are on Sunday nights, 8 o'clock BKK time on the big reel.
And what do you guys
Cuss a
talk
lot
about?
more.
Because that's
Pretty
tomorrow.
much the same stuff, we talk about here and cuss a little bit more, and because it's nighttime, so my brain's a lot more awake. We
Come on, wake
do
up.
general complaining as well. No, it's basically guy talk. It's a lot of times Mitch and I will have no plan going into it. Like I told him the other day, I said, "Man, we might be on for 15 minutes. We're just going to go live and kind of play it by ear." And then all of a sudden, people started getting in the chat, asking questions, making little comments.
Mhm.
And then, I'll even throw up the link for people to come on if they want to come on and chat live with us, because there's times that I'll look at certain people's chat and I'm like, I want to respond to the question, but it's going to take too long with the delay. It's like, just put me on the damn show and I can explain it to you.
You know what? I'll try and come on next week because I will be there.
Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
be awesome. I would love to, because right now when you do the show, it's 4 o'clock in the morning for me, man.
I get
You
it.
can
That's why
forget it.
I haven't asked you yet to come on to the show. But to be quite honest with you, we'd much rather have Kitty come on the show than you. We think viewership would
Oh,
go up some, but
nice, nice.
yeah.
Here we go. Chasing Dreams. Tree hates it when I tip. So that is Roger. And yeah, Kitty gave me some flack when I was tipping too much. I would tip 100 baht here and whatever at dinner. Now I give her the money and let her do the
Uh,
tipping. And she's a good tipper, but I was pretty much over the top. And let's
okay,
see
so
here. Go ahead.
So when you talk about tipping 100, you have to clarify, and it depends on the situation. Like I'll tell you this right now: if you go get a real massage, like an actual Thai massage, nothing with the happy endings and stuff like that, and the massage is 200 baht, for
I pay
crying out
300.
loud. Well, it depends on what
Yeah.
type. If you get an oil massage, they're 300, but a foot massage and a regular Thai massage is going rate is anywhere from 2 to 300, depends on the shop. Pradamak, they're pretty much 200. Shit, soy bua cow, you can actually see them down to about 150 in some places.
Wow. I've never seen that.
Do me a favor and at least give the lady at a minimum a 100 baht tip there,
Yeah, I do
because you
every
don't
time.
realize it that there's a lot of money going back into the shop. Some of those shops on Soy Buakao, the lady has to supply everything. They'll get 100 baht for the massage, but they have to supply the massage oil. They have to supply,
Yeah.
everything there. They even have to supply, if they want to use the restroom, they have their own locker. They'll have to supply their own toilet paper for
It's
work there.
crazy. I've seen that too and heard about that, and I think that's
Yeah.
nuts. So
So,
Van built it. Let's go. What dates are you here? So I fly in on March 31st at 12:45 in the morning.
mhm.
So there you go, and it's Van built it. So I'm wondering, are you a van life channel? Because when I come back from Thailand back to the States in June, so I'm only in Thailand for 2 months this next trip, and then I'm back here in the States and I'm living in my van and I'll be doing van life videos until I come back to Thailand. So throughout the summer, I'll be here in the States doing my van life video. So if you're a van lifer, be sure to
Yeah, but I,
subscribe
I
to my
want to
channel.
I want to qualify something real quick. When you say you're doing the van life,
Yeah.
probably like everybody else is thinking like that old 70s types van with the shag carpet
No,
and everything like
dude,
that.
come on.
I saw pictures of Robbie's van. It's a Sprinter. What is that, a Mercedes?
Oh yeah, the
That thing is
big one.
first class. That
Oh
thing
yeah.
is first class all the way. It's like, oh yeah, if I was going to do van life, that's the way I'd do it too. I mean, it's one step away from being a full blown RV.
Yep.
It's that big.
It's pretty big and the bed is super
Rob
comfortable. I love
Robbie
it.
is not slumming it by any means necessary. Robbie and
There's
I are
not
on the
much
same, yeah.
slumming for me.
No,
No,
there's
I'm
certain
good.
things in life that I don't slum it, and that's,
Yeah.
having a bed and a place to sleep is one of it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100%. Having a place. Here we go. At 2:25 a.m. So wonder where here is at
That's
2:25.
gotta be the UK.
So yeah, wow, is
6
it two
hours. Yeah, 6, 7 hour, yeah, that's about right, depends on where at,
UK?
somewhere.
Okay, that sounds right. Getting ready to rest my Robert Mack. He's getting ready to tune out of here.
It's past his bedtime.
Yeah, it is, man. Does he sleep
Yeah.
in the shirt he bought from me? That's what I wonder. Robert, if you need another shirt, I got more shirts coming. I'll
Just
just
not
give
a
a minimum
picture of
100
you
baht.
sleeping in it.
Here we go. So, is it wrong to give too much of a tip? So, that's a good question because by tipping too much, what's that say?
What sets a standard? Okay, if you're gonna be a regular, oh god, you're gonna make me, and I hate talking
Well, we
about
only
this
got
stuff
one
because
minute left, so you're going to have to squeeze this into 1 minute because we're going to go through these questions and comments real quick.
I'm not telling anybody about tipping this and that because they're gonna
Well,
take it
good.
as
You know what?
law.
We're going to save that for the next show because we're almost out of time here. So, Self Built Van emailed you a photo of the van. I'll have to check that out. Hopefully, you emailed it to the right person. Let's take a quick look here. Uh, New sub here. All right. Thank you for subbing. Definitely appreciate it. If you guys hit that thumbs up, we would even appreciate it 100 times more. It's helping the algorithm when you guys hit the thumbs up. And those who are on Walking in My Shoes, those who are on Live My Ass Off with Mike's, The Big Reel, wherever you guys are watching us, be sure to tune into the spot.fm, also the
Yep.
spot.fm YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed to the Big Reel, go in there and check it out. Check out the food. Honestly, it's great videos, great content. I actually like watching it. The videos are like 3 to 5 minutes long videos, and they're pretty awesome. Again, definitely tune into the Big Reel. Tune into thespot.fm with you're on your phone, your laptop, wherever you guys are at. You can listen to some awesome jams. Also on the spot.fm, we are playing rock and roll music with bkk.fm. Just click on there and you guys will hear some cool tunes. But anyways, guys, Ryan, I really appreciate you joining me today, being our special guest in Mike's absent. We hope to have you on in a couple of weeks again. If you're cool with that, we would love to talk about the tipping. We'd love to talk about more about what you did before you came here. And that would be kind of cool. So I really hope you do tune in. I appreciate you for tuning in. And I'm Robbie with Walking My Shoes. And always remember to live that best life, because if you're not living. And my special guest, Ryan, the Big Reel, if you want to give a sign off, that's cool.
No,
If
well,
not,
we definitely ain't doing a skadoosh. We don't
you
skadoosh
don't want a
around here.
skadoosh? Come on,
We
we got
ain't
like 20
skadooshin'
bucks here.
shit.
We got 20 bucks from these guys
Do
today. This is
I was getting
awesome.
ready I was getting ready to say, "Do I look like the Kung Fu Panda? There ain't no skadooshin' here."
Anyways, guys, we'll see you guys next week. And hopefully I'm going to see you guys next week
Next week.
in
Yep.
person. Peace. We're out.